when I mentioned to my son that we would be doing this course, he said, "Oh, Mama, you have to tell them about the robbers and the police." And I thought, crime is so rare in Thailand. Why would we tell that story? And he said, "Mama, it's just so Thai." So this story comes from him. When we first moved to Thailand, we were living in a very urban kind of inner city situation, and there were shop houses all lined up next to each other, and all the Thai people had these metal gates around their properties, and they had metal decorative frameworks on all the windows so that they couldn't be broken into. And they would padlock the gate and lock the windows, and we were very casual about it. We felt very safe, and we left our windows open and didn't have all the padlocks that our neighbors did. One day we had some out-of-town visitors, and they were staying at our house. They were sitting out on the porch in front of our house after we had gone to bed. At that time, the door to the house didn't have a doorknob with a latch, so you had to pull the door closed and physically lock it in order for the door to stay closed, and we didn't communicate that to our guests. So when they finally came to bed, they left the gate open and they pulled the door shut, but it, kind of eased back open again 3 or 4 inches, practically inviting a robber in. So they came. They quietly went to every room and gently lifted the telephone off the bedside table. But in the 3rd bedroom, they woke my mom, and she jumped out of bed and, naked, chased them out of the house. Tum, 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 tum. They ran down the stairs and bolted out the front door, leaving their shoes behind. So when all the dust settled and the police came and there wasn't much evidence except for these shoes, we all kind of joked that if anybody found anybody trying to sell telephones with bare feet, that would be a suspicious person. And a few months later, I had been riding my bicycle with my bag in the basket, and many Thai people had told me, "Don't leave your bag in the basket. Somebody's going to steal it." And I didn't believe them, or I wasn't worried, and so I kept riding with my bag in the basket. And one night, I was driving home from hanging out with friends. I had been learning Thai, and I was taking notes in my notebooks. I had my notebooks in my bag and not very much money and my telephone. And sure enough, 2 young men on a motorcycle pulled up right next to me. And if they had smiled at me, I would have smiled back. They seemed friendly enough, but one of them gently reached into my bicycle basket and lifted my bag off and drove off. I was so sad because with those notebooks, I lost the chance of writing a book on how to learn Thai. But I didn't care that much about the phone. In those days, we didn't have phone plans. We just had to buy minutes on cards. And you could buy 30 baht worth of minutes or 50 baht worth of minutes. But I had bought 300 baht worth of minutes. So the phone had a lot of credit. And I guess that was a score for these young men because they gave it to their girlfriends who started using my phone. I had a new friend at the time, and I hadn't put her number into my phone. So whenever somebody called me and their name popped up, these kids didn't answer the phone. But when this friend called me, her name didn't pop up and they answered, which made her really excited because she realized she was talking to the thief. And she came to my house and grabbed me and took me to the police station and was very excited. "You can track them down," she said to the police officers. And I was shocked, but the police officers got really excited. And they started to try to track these kids down. They were calling them from different numbers and slowly trying to work out the way to trap the kids into some kind of meeting. And I'm not a big fan of the police, so I didn't really want to pursue this case. The phone wasn't very valuable. I was ready to get a new one. But the police were taking it very seriously. And eventually they caught the young people and dragged me down to the police station where they asked me to identify the young people. And The police station had this kind of office room, but there was no furniture in it. The kids were huddled in the corner on the floor, and I really couldn't bring myself to, send them to jail or something. It didn't feel good. And the police officer said to me, "You're kind, and I can see you don't want to punish these children, but they committed a crime. And in order for justice to be served, you need to identify them. They had your phone, and they confessed. It's your duty to identify them so that we can continue this corrective process." So I did what the officer told me to do, and I said, "Those are the kids." And at that point, he went over to them, and he put his arm around the boys, and he said, "Son, you are Thai. You are a representative of the people of Thailand. It's your duty to honor the values of our nation, our religion, and our monarchy. We value morality, respect, and consideration of the group over consideration of the individual. It's an honor when people want to visit our country. But when our guests have the experience that this woman had, it reflects poorly on all the people of Thailand." He might have said more than that, but that's what I remember. And I would love to pass that police officer's message on to you, that when you come to Thailand, or when you travel anywhere, you're a representative of the people of your country, and your actions reflect those values. When you come to Thailand, I hope you'll keep our values in mind for morality, respect, and consideration of the best interests of the community over the best interests of the individual. Thank you.